live, man. Ooh, it's been some years. It's been some years. What's up? What's up, everybody? First time going live. Let's see if somebody come in, man. I just want to chat. Roll my window a little bit. I'm over here getting loaded in Atlanta, and I was actually trying to go live earlier, but they came out and told me to go ahead and open up the door. So I'm like, all right, cool. So we already back then. We might have a little time. I see a lot of drivers have been here for a while, so we might have a little time. So what's up, everybody? What's going down, man? Y'all gotta bear with me. This is my first time going live on YouTube. Back then when I used to do YouTube, live didn't exist. So hopefully I did this right. I don't know, man. We gonna find out. Hopefully I did it right, cause I don't see nobody. But I'm going to imagine it's just like Facebook, or maybe it's not. I don't know. We're gonna see right now. So I decided to go live, man, and can y'all hear me? I'm gonna make sure y'all hear me, man, because I think my truck then picked up the Bluetooth. Hold on, let me get this. All right, maybe it's better now. Can y'all hear me? Somebody, somebody, let me know if you can hear me, man. My truck picked up Bluetooth, but I think it should be good now. I should be good. All right. Okay, I see y'all coming. Yeah. I see y'all coming in now. Okay, YouTube. Okay. Y'all got the old dog. The old man out here on YouTube. What's up? Okay, I see it coming in now. Okay, I can hear me. Okay, good. What's up? What's going on? Listen, and I usually do all my content on Instagram now. I was doing it on Snapchat for a while, but I kind of like Instagram now. And I said, what the heck, man? I haven't uploaded a video on YouTube or went live or not even live. I don't even want to say live. I haven't even put a video on YouTube in about 15 years, bro. I want to say at least 15 years. It's been that long. It's been a long time. So I'm sitting here because I was watching a lot of videos on Instagram. And I don't know if y'all can see me, man. There's a lot of people out here, bro. We got trucks. Man, they still checking in trucks at the guard shack, and it's wrapped around the building. So we got a lot of trucks out here, man. I'm over here at the Lennox cold storage. But yeah, man, I was watching some videos on Instagram, and I decided. I said, you know what? Let me go on YouTube and try to go live, or try to see how this live thing work out, and just talk to the people. Maybe bring some people up or whatever, because we got a lot of people talking about trucking, man. And I'm just gonna get right into it, man. Is trucking really that bad in 2024? What do y'all think? Is trucking really that bad? I see a lot of news articles, man. There's a lot of headline stories. I see a lot of people making videos all over the place on X, Instagram, YouTube, about companies either shutting their doors, filing for bankruptcy. I'm talking mega carriers or mid-sized carriers or larger carriers. Or are they downsizing? Like a lot of bigger carriers are downsizing. What y'all think? You know what I'm saying? I wanted to give my perspective on what I really think, man, of what's going on. And I'm gonna do like I've been doing since I made my first video on YouTube back in 2005, I believe. Back in 2005. That's when I made my first YouTube. I made my first trucking YouTube in 2006, I believe, somewhere around there. That's when I was at the Guard Shack. That's right before I got recruited to go to Swift. But I just wanted to talk about it, man. I'm gonna hang out with y'all here until we either get enough people in here or until they ready for me to go sign paperwork or whatever, man. And I want to talk to y'all, man. I want y'all to talk to me because I think I know what's going on. I really do. I think I know what's going on because this is not just affecting owner operators. This is affecting mega fleets now. This is not just affecting trucking companies. This is affecting brokers now. You know what I'm saying? And because it's affecting brokers and big carriers, then obviously it's affecting shippers and receivers. You understand what I'm saying? Their customers. And I'm gonna tell you right now, man. I'm gonna tell you guys right now what it is. A lot of people, and when I say a lot of people, I mean a lot of people, women, men, families. I mean, just a lot of people in 2020 got into trucking. They got into trucking, man. I'm talking about oversaturated in trucking. We got a lot of new owner operators out here. We got a lot of new truck drivers out here. Just a lot of people just jumped in. We got a lot of people that are owners of fleets, but they don't drive trucks. You know what I'm saying? They just got a bunch of trucks. They hire a bunch of drivers, and they don't do anything else in the trucking industry. They just own the company. You see what I'm saying? And then I want to say, what was it, 2020 or was it 2019? I think it was 2020, maybe a little piece of 2021. That's when trucking was ridiculous, man. I'm talking about it was ridiculous. Oh my God, it was ridiculous. I mean, we were getting loads. It was to the point where I was talking to one of my partners about it. I say it was to the point where you had to basically tell a broker, you had to block brokers' phone, their phone number, man. You had to literally block their phone number because you was getting calls back to back from brokers. Hey man, can you take this load? Can you take this load? I got another load. You be on a load. You be on a load. And a broker will call you, hey man, when you're done with that one, I got another one. You want it? You know, and then it got to the point where you had to basically force yourself to not take freight. You had to be like, man, I'm not taking no more loads. I can't. I'm tired, man. I've been out here for 3 months, nonstop. I haven't seen my family. I haven't did that. That's how drivers were. You know what I'm saying? Even myself, you know, I was like, man, I can't. I got to get some rest. You know, but after the broker got finished telling you about the load and then how much they were paying on the load, and then you could still negotiate the price up, the rate up, it was hard to turn that down. And because that was happening, so many people got in the industry. People that didn't have experience, people that didn't really know much about trucking, you know, went out and brought trucks, went out and brought several trucks and got in. And then you had a lot of the mega carriers. They started hiring drivers left and right. I mean, they brought more trucks into their fleet. They probably already had 3,000 or 4,000 trucks. They probably went and brought another 1,000 or another 500 and hired more drivers. You see what I'm saying? And then not only that, you had bigger companies that got into lucrative contracts with their customers. You know, like say for instance a Walmart or a Target or something like that. But you know, I'm just using those as an example. But I'm just saying they got in lucrative contracts with their customers, jacked up the rate, making good money. Right? I mean, they're killing it. I mean, you doing loads $6-7 a mile. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that $3 a mile stuff, $3-4 a mile, man, dudes was getting that going cross country, cuz. You know what I'm saying? Picking up on the East Coast, going to the West Coast, $4 or $5 a mile. You see what I'm saying? You're not seeing that today. With all that being said, all that was going on, then our industry, the entire industry, and that's just on the trucking side. We still had a lot of brokers that started, because even now when I'm dealing with brokers, I see a lot of brokers that had started their brokerage in 2020. You know what I'm saying? So you had a lot of brokers that got into the business, new brokers. And then you had a lot of people from other countries figured out a way to start a company in the United States, whether if it was a dispatch service, trucking company, or whatever it was. They found out. I mean, you had people in other countries, or companies here in the United States that were representing people from other countries and helping them set up, S corps and LLCs and stuff here in the United States to get that money, because our dollar stretches a lot farther in some of these other, countries out there. So we had all of that going on, man. We had all of that going on, and people not understanding. But you also had a lot of people that been driving out here for like 20 years, 40 years, 30 years, that kept saying during these times, was like, hey, man, get it while you can, because this is not going to last long. But all the people that came in, they thought it was going to be forever. They thought this is what trucking was. If they never got into trucking, they got into trucking at the time where trucking was like this for all of us. It was like this for everybody. You see what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people got into trucking at the time where people that were already in trucking has never experienced trucking like that before. You know what I'm saying? So people that's been driving for 10 plus, 20 plus, 30 plus years has never seen trucking the way it was in 2020 and the beginning of 2021. You feel me? So when they got in, or all these new people got in, they thought this is trucking. Hey, everybody get in, jump in. Well, what you want to do? It don't matter. Go buy trucks. Go get a terminal. Go get this. Go get that. You know what I'm saying? Start hiring drivers. Start a brokerage. You feel me? If you already in trucking, you had 5 trucks. Go buy 5 more. Trucks were. I don't want to say they were cheap, but they were reasonable before we went through all that pandemic stuff. They were reasonable. You feel me? Fast forward now, 2024. Boom, we're here. Now, we've been kind of dealing with this trucking recession, or trucking, the way trucking has been for the last, I want to say 3 years now, maybe almost going on 4 years almost. We kind of been dealing with this for a while now, but now we're in 2024 and we're about to go through an election. Here's the thing, man, because I see a lot of people talking down about trucking now because they're not getting what they want. Because keep in mind, I want y'all to understand something. Keep in mind, when trucking was hitting, I'm talking about when we was making, bro, whatever you wanted, because that's basically what it was. Forget the rate. It's whatever you wanted. Broker call you, hey, what you need? If you set a ridiculous price, like $4,000 to do 700 miles, they were paying it. They were basically paying it. Why? Because they needed your truck. They needed it. They didn't care. They needed your truck. They took a loss, or the customer upped the rate because they needed the freight, right? I mean, we were even at the point in the thick of it where you didn't even need to use the logbook, the e-log. You could turn it off and just keep driving. You feel me? It got that crucial. But when we was going through all of that, nobody was complaining. You feel me? Nobody was complaining. Nobody was saying anything negative about trucking. You didn't hear no negativity about trucking then. The negativity that we was hearing, though, was on the broker side, was on the other side, because they were saying we were price gouging. We were doing this, we were doing that. And yes, we were, because I know I was. You know what I'm saying? We were asking for the type of money that was ridiculous. And we knew we could get it because we knew they needed the truck. There was trucks everywhere. I mean, bro, it don't matter what market you went to during that time. It don't matter what market you went to, you was gonna get a load. And forget, I mean, now everybody's trying to get a load over $2 a mile. Then you were gonna get a load $5 and up a mile. At least $5 and up a mile. You already knew that. So it didn't matter where you go. Now you kind of have to run a little bit more, precise. You got to be more strategic. How you booking freight and stuff like that. You got to be a little bit more nitpicky. You got to really, it's like taking that needle and just really hound it in on where, you got to fine tune. You got to do a lot. Back then, bro, all you had to do was throw something up in the air and catch it, and you were good to go. All right, just throw it up in the air, catch it, boom, let's go. You will put money in the bank. You see what I'm saying? So another thing that a lot of people did, a lot of the smart owner operators, including myself, back then, when we were making a lot of money, a lot of guys got smart and did a lot of work on their truck during that time. Because I know I was one of them guys. I spent a lot of money doing a lot of work on my truck back then. So coming into now, because I had a feeling, I didn't know how long that market was going to last, but I knew it wasn't going to last forever. Just common sense and just being in trucking, because nothing like this good is going to last forever. And then it made a lot of sense too, that because of what was going on in the world, it made a lot of sense that freight needed to be moved, especially on the perishable side, food, like stuff going to Walmart, Target, Whole Foods, Kroger, Food Lion, all the grocery stores, you know what I'm saying? Places like that, Costco's. I mean, it don't matter because people was just at home. People was just at home. Y'all stay with me because I'm going to get to, is trucking really bad right now, right? People were staying home except truck drivers, right? Company drivers that was driving for mega fleets. We were out here. It was even to the point where they made special rules for truck drivers going through different states that were really strict, like Florida. We didn't even have to go through the weigh station. None of that. You know what I'm saying? It was crazy, man. It was a what they call it, a utopia. It was crazy, right? Now let's fast forward it. Now trucking bounced back to what it was, I would say, a year before the pandemic came. 2018 going into 2019. Trucking has bounced back. Now, I know a lot of y'all going to say, no, it hasn't, Big Cat, this, that. No. When you look at the numbers, you look at the numbers of where we at, like the national average on the rates right now for reefer, dry van, flatbed. If you look at the numbers, we're at the same point that we were at back in, I would say, 2018, 2019. We're the same there. Maybe give or take a cent here, a cent there. You see what I'm saying? Because there were so many people that got used to that $5 a mile, $6 a mile, $7 a mile. They went out and created their lifestyle based on what they were making in that year. You see what I'm saying? That's what happened. They went out and they created their lifestyle. They went and purchased a lot of liabilities. They brought very expensive trucks with high notes, high insurance, because people were like, well, we're going to make the money. We're making the money, so we don't care. We'll go ahead and spend $6,000 a month for insurance on one truck. You feel me? For $4,500 on insurance for one truck. Guys were starting authorities without even having experience in trucking. Even still today, man, I got some broker friends that want to get into trucking, and they talk about it all the time about getting their authority, and I keep telling them, no, don't do it. So now, bro, we're here in 2024. Is trucking really that bad? This is what I'm going to say. I know there's not a lot of y'all in here, but I think I'm probably going to keep this video up. So more people can watch it. I haven't been on YouTube, like I said, in 13 to 15 years. And so I didn't expect anybody to show up because you guys are not used to this page going live. So I get it. But now we're here, man, 2024. And I'm going to say this. Trucking is not bad. It's not bad. It's just that there's some things that have changed that is making it a little bit more harder to get what you want. That's it. But it's not bad. It's not bad at all, right? I get it that a lot of you guys are burnt out. It was the time I was burnt out. I was tired. During that pandemic stuff that we was doing, man, we pretty much worked 2 years straight, nonstop, take no days off. You see what I'm saying? And y'all stay with me. I know I'm taking forever, but I want y'all to get what I'm saying, because trucking is not bad. It's not. The rates that you're getting per load right now, it's not bad. Now, if you're on the spot market, if you're getting loads off the load board, that's basically what a spot market's at. If you're on truckstop.com or if you're on BAT, you're owner operator and you're leased on to another carrier. That means you have your truck and you take your truck or your trailer and you go to another carrier you lease on, and you give them a percentage of whatever you make on the load, but they're getting all of their loads off of the spot market. They don't really have any contract freight. Like I'm looking right now at Stevens Transport. See over there? Stevens Transport. I haul a lot of loads for those. And then right behind Stevens Transport, there's a Prime truck right there, right? Those guys, they move contract freight. They don't do anything on the spot market. They only move their customer freight, contract freight. But we have a lot of owner operators that just stay on the spot market, right? So the spot market goes up and down. It's basically self-explanatory. It is what it is. Spot market. So that means in certain spots, the market is good. Certain spots, the market is terrible. For an example, you might find a load in Texas going to Oregon. I'm gonna shoot a number out. I don't want y'all to think that this is what it is right now. It's because it's probably not. But let's just say a load's picking up in Texas going to Oregon for $5,500, right? Let's just go ahead and max out the gross. Let's say 42,000 pounds on the trailer, right? So you maxed out now, and then you're gonna take that load to Oregon, or let's even jump it up to $6,000. It might even be $6,000. Now here's the thing. You're gonna be all happy. Oh, I just made $6,000. It's gonna take you 3 or 4 days to get there. I just made $6,000, and then you gotta, get unloaded. Here's the problem: is when you get up there, that market is so dry and so dead. It's either gonna take you the rest of the week to find a decent load to get out, or you're gonna have to do what I call pity pat. Basically, you're gonna have to move around to a lot of different areas in that market to justify the cost of getting out, or you got to take the loss and you're going to have to deadhead out to a different market. And that deadhead could be 600 miles, 700 miles. You see what I'm saying? Because technically a 300-mile deadhead or 250, that ain't nothing in Oregon. You got to really move. You got to get out. You might have to go all the way down to Sacramento or something. You might have to go, you might have to go to the Bay. You might have to go all the way to Utah. You might have to go all the way to, Idaho or something. You feel me? So when that happens, that $6,000 that you made going up there, you just chopped it down a lot. So a lot of guys are going through that. You see what I'm saying? So that's what happens on the spot market. So that's what I'm saying. Now we going back to 2024. When you're doing that in a market like this, it kills your business. I don't care if you're a one truck owner operator, or if you're a mega fleet, or mid-sized fleet. It don't matter what you are, because I'm trying to explain to you guys why you guys are seeing not only like guys like myself, one truck owner operator, or one truck carrier, or two truck carrier, but now you guys are seeing companies like Raven Transport. You're seeing articles of like from C.H. Robinson, which is a broker logistics company, right? They used to be the number one. I think now Amazon has taken that place because they're a logistics company too. You've seen companies like JB Hunt, Swift, Knight, Prime, all of these big mega carriers that are chopping their fleets down. You see what I'm saying? Or companies like Raven Transport or Arnold, they're just shutting the doors completely and letting go all their drivers. We've seen a lot of that going on. Because I don't care who you were, bro. Back in 2020, everybody got into the business of making money in trucking. Whether you already had a company or you never been in trucking and you got in, everybody got into that business. Now let's get back to 2024. Is trucking bad? Now let me get back to Big Cat. Let me give y'all the real. Trucking is not bad. What trucking is doing exactly what it's supposed to be doing right now. Trucking is operating the way trucking is supposed to operate. But everybody that got into trucking when trucking was in heaven, when trucking was on cloud 9, when trucking was just, bro, when you was out here wearing your Jordans while you was driving, you see what I'm saying? You was wearing your Tommy Hilfiger drawers, you know? You was coming out here starched down, you know what I mean? Eating steak and shrimp every day, you know? Didn't have a care in the world. You had plenty parking. You could park at a Walmart. You could park. It don't matter. You could park on the side of the road. They didn't care. They let us do what we was doing. That was trucking heaven. Try to do that now. You'll get a ticket. There was no blitz going on. There was none of that stuff going on. You see what I'm saying? All it was give me the keys to the truck, bruh, and let me go get this money. That's all it was. And that's exactly what we was doing, getting money. You see what I'm saying? You didn't need to know your cost per mile. You didn't need to know how to run a business. You didn't need to have a business mindset. You see what I'm saying? You didn't need to know how to figure out, how much fuel that you need, or you needed to understand, what truck is more efficient when it comes to putting more money in the bank or having more profits. You see what I'm saying? You can have a hood truck or you can buy an Aero truck or whatever. It didn't matter. It didn't matter. You spending $1,600 or $3,000 a week on fuel. That didn't matter. Now it matters. It matters because that could break the bank. Now it matters. You see what I'm saying? You had a major mechanic issue with the truck. You needed to spend a quick $8,000 to put a new radiator or whatever, get your EGR clean, $3,000, get your EGR clean or whatever, put a, $20,000, $25,000, put a new transmission in your truck. It didn't matter because you had the money. People were making money. You see what I'm saying? Now it's different. They got used to that. Now we in 2024. All of you guys that were in trucking before 2020, all you guys that was in trucking then, before that, that's how the market was. Back then, that's how it is right now, right? But your mind is different. Now you're still looking for more than $2 a mile. Back then, bro, I'm gonna say this. I know some of y'all gonna freak out when y'all hear this. Bro, back then you could make money on $1.50 a mile, $1.85, $1.90 a mile. You can make money, you can make profit on that. Now nobody wants to talk about a dollar anything. Everybody wants $2 and up now in 2024. I'm talking now, right? But check this out. Things have changed so much, not just in our economy, in the world. The supply chain, supply and demand. And when I say supply and demand, I am talking about in trucking. I'm not talking about like far as like goods and services. I'm talking about the supply and demand in trucking. Like the demand of truck drivers versus the supply of truck drivers, like how many trucks and truck drivers we actually have out here on the fucking road, bro. You see what I'm saying? So all of that have shifted, right? So if you got into trucking back then in 2020 and you didn't take it serious, you only got in to make the money, and you only brought a truck to just get that quick, fast money. You didn't really do your homework. You didn't do your numbers. You didn't buy the right truck. You didn't care about, that the truck was $3,500 a month, the trailer or whatever rental, and you didn't care. You didn't give a crap giving up, 30%, of your gross to the carrier that you was leased onto, or you went out and got your authority but didn't really know your cost per mile and stuff like that. You didn't know any of that. You were just like, hey, my boy got a truck, bro. He doing $14,000 a week, bro. What? That's what he doing? Yeah, that's what he doing. Hey, let's go get some trucks. How much is trucks? Man, you could probably get a truck 80 grand right now, used truck. Or if you want to go buy a new truck, you could probably buy a new Peterbilt right now. Not right now in 2024. I'm saying back then. Back then, you could probably go buy a brand new Peterbilt for 150. All right, hey, I got a partner with money. Let me talk to him. Let's see if we can go get some trucks. Boom, we got the trucks. Now we out here. You see what I'm saying? Now the market has shifted. The market has went back to normal. It's basically like when you have a lake full of water, obviously, that's at its levels all the time. I know y'all been out to like Nevada out there. I can't remember the name of that lake. Is it Mead Lake? I think that's always going down. You have a lake that's let's say for instance the water level is like this all the time. It rains, it might go up just a little bit, right? Well, in 2020, it rained so much that lake filled up. I mean, it went up so high. It probably made another lake. It looked like an ocean. You see what I'm saying? And then it stopped raining. And then the lake came down. So it rained for so long, everybody was used to just having all that water everywhere. It was just water everywhere. It was just, hey man, this is the new normal. Let's get it. Water's everywhere. It's plentiful. You feel me? And then it stopped raining. Then that water level went down back to where it used to be. But we haven't been. It's been so long that we seen the lake at that level. You see what I'm saying? But you gotta remember that before the lake went up, we lived a whole lifetime in trucking at this level. It might have went down a little bit and came back up. Went down a little bit and came back up, because that's what trucking do. It go down a little bit, but we know it's gonna come back up. There's a season in trucking where we know that freight rates is gonna go down and come back up. It's gonna get slow and it's gonna get back hot. You see what I'm saying? But not hot where there's water everywhere. You know what I'm saying? It stopped raining 2021, 2022, 2023. Now we 2024, and that lake is back at where it used to always be. Now everybody that got in when the water was up high, they don't understand. They like, man, trucking is bad, bro. Man, you can't even move the truck. I can't even afford fuel. I can't even do that. That's what they're saying. Because they never was operating a truck or had a trucking company or been in the trucking business when we were just right here, just making good money, just right here all the time, just making good money. You see what I'm saying? So that's what we're dealing with right now, right? Not only that, on the other side, like the mega fleet side, big companies, they made a lot of bad decisions too, right? Or let's say it this way. Let's say they didn't make a lot of bad decisions. Let's say they rode the train too. They rode it out too. They say, listen, we got 3,000 trucks. We're going to go ahead and add 1,500 more. But we know these 1,500 more trucks, we're going to have to, this is the numbers to run these 1,500 more trucks. This is how many drivers we got to drive. We're going to try to keep this up for the next 2 years. So they probably had a plan. They knew that the day was going to come that those 15 trucks that they brought and those 1,500 drivers, 1,500 trucks that they brought and those 1,500 drivers that they hired, they will have to let them go. They will have to let them go. Eventually, they know they will have to let them go. So it was a money grab, right? Let's get in. Let's get more trucks. Let's expand. Let's grow the fleet. Hire more drivers. Let's get them in. Let's move this freight. We got to take care of the customers. You see what I'm saying? We were bringing in owner operators. We letting owner operators lease on and all this. That's what these mega carriers were doing. You see what I'm saying? But they knew. They just didn't tell you because you're the employee. They don't have to tell you. But they knew there was going to come a time, there was going to come a year that they were going to have to let those drivers go. They were going to have to cut those trucks and go back down to their normal fleet size or where they were. If they were at 3,000 and they had 1,500 more, they knew there was going to come a point where they would have to go back down to 3,000. You see what I'm saying? But what nobody knew was we were going to be going through this whole situation for this long. So them saying, hey, we knew we were going to have to eventually cut those 1,500 drivers that we hired because we just brought those 1,500 trucks and those 10,000 extra trailers. We knew we were going to have to cut them, but we didn't know we was probably going to have to cut 2,000 drivers now to stay afloat, to keep the company going, because we didn't estimate that this quote unquote trucking recession or whatever we're going through right now was going to last for 3 years or go into 4 years. Now we in 2024, bro. We about to have another presidential election, bro. You see what I'm saying? And we're still dealing with this market the way we're dealing with it. Now, the thing is, I don't want to make it sound like we're dealing with a market that's bad where you can't make no money. No, there's just a lot of competition out here in trucking right now. We still got a lot of drivers out here. We still got a lot of companies out here that are holding on. Now, I will tell you what the guys that I feel that this market is for right now, right? I don't necessarily think that this is a mega fleet market right now. I don't necessarily think that this is a you know have your contract, hold on to your contract type of market right now. The guys that are going to continue to make it and do well, even in this market, even in this time, is going to be your smaller guys, your smaller carriers. When I say smaller guys, I'm talking about guys that have they're carriers, but the owners of the carriers, they also drive, so they don't really have to depend on drivers, because you got a lot of guys that don't have a CDL, but they started a trucking company, so they have to depend on drivers. That's the only way they're going to make money. But a guy that has a carrier, but he is a driver and he started a carrier, he just grew his fleet one truck at a time. He can still get out there and drive the truck and make money for his company. He can just downsize. He can let everybody go and get into one of his trucks, let his trucks go, and he can still keep his company going. You see what I'm saying? Or the guys that are owner operators that have, and when I say owner operators, I'm talking about a guy that has a truck and he has it leased on to another carrier. He doesn't have his authority. He's not a carrier, but he might have it leased on somewhere else, right? That guy, if he has very, 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 very low overhead, like absolutely no overhead at all, he basically lives out on the road. He probably lives in his truck, lives out on the road. He don't have no wife and kids at home. He doesn't have a lot of liabilities attached to his life. So he can basically just make himself available every single day to move freight. You see what I'm saying? That guy is going to make it, right? The small carrier guy, the guy that has maybe 1 or 2 trucks. He's a carrier. He has 1 or 2 trucks, maybe 3 trucks. You know what I'm saying? He's going to make it, right? Because these guys are becoming I want to say more in demand. You're gonna start seeing a lot more like brokers calling these guys, especially if you've been in it for a minute. Like you're not a new carrier, like you got 2 or 3 years or 4 or 5 years, or maybe 10 years out here on as a carrier, but you still just a 1 truck guy. Those guys are important right now. Brokers are breaking their necks to try to get freight in those guys' trucks. You see what I'm saying? The reason why is because they're more flexible. There's no contract. They can basically negotiate, right? Not only that, they have some time on them. So they're not one of those individuals that came out here in 2020, when you go look at their authority, or you go to Safer Site, you look at their authority and like, oh, they just started authority in 2020 or whatever, you know what I'm saying, or 2024 or something like that. They're not one of those guys, right? Because I get the calls all the time. Not only brokers, but shippers are calling, and they just need their freight moved. They just want it to be safe. You know, you ain't got no accidents, nothing like that. They feel like you're going to be safe. They want to talk to you. You know, you be personal with them. They want to put freight on your truck. You see what I'm saying? They're taking freight from other mega carriers that they have, and they're spreading it out. They're throwing it on the spot market. I'm not going to say they're throwing it all on the spot market, right? But they're doing that. So they're doing their work too, because like I said, it ain't just trucking companies that are downsizing, cutting drivers, are closing their doors, or filing for bankruptcy. It's not just trucking companies. It's also brokers. It's also factoring companies. There's also some of the smaller insurance companies or downsizers are getting brought up by bigger insurance companies, right? So it's not just trucking anymore or trucking companies anymore. It's everybody that's involved in trucking is dealing with something, right? And the guy that's going to survive, or the guy or girl, whatever, that's going to survive is the one that has very small overhead. They don't have a lot of liabilities. They can basically get out here and weather the storm because they don't have a bunch of employees to pay, and they don't have 10,000 trucks that they got to worry about maintenance, fuel, keeping drivers in them, or drivers getting, violations and stuff like that, messing with their authority. All they got to focus on is themselves and that one truck or their two trucks. Those are going to be the guys. Because I'm going to tell you something, even right now where I'm at, other than Prime and Stevens that just came in, which those guys are coming in and they're dropping their trailers. But all of these trucks, man, all of these trucks that are parked, even going down there, all of these trucks that are backed into the door getting loaded are all owner operators. They're all owner operators. They're not mega fleets carriers. They're smaller companies. When I walked and checked in, walked down there to check in, I'm looking at all the trucks. You could tell an owner operator truck when you see it. You see what I'm saying? Man, bro, I'm telling you. Now here's the thing that I want to tell you guys, the guys that are out here, maybe if you own a truck or not, or if you're driving for a company. Now the company side, I can't really speak on because you guys got to understand. I see this all the time, and I'm starting to see this a lot from females because they complain a lot. The company's not doing this. Now they want to put front-facing cameras. Look, your company is going to do whatever they got to do to make things more cost-efficient for them. That means getting cheaper insurance or whatever, downsizing the company, getting less trucks, firing people, whatever they got to do to cut costs, they're going to do it. But you got to keep in mind that you are just a employee, right? You don't make any decisions. So if you're just an employee, what do I have to do, Big Cat, to make sure that my job is secure or just, don't have to worry? I mean, no job is really secure, but one of the things that I think that you should do is just be more valuable. Bring more value to that company so they can look at you and be like, well, hey, when it's time to cut people, we're going to keep our best and we're going to let the rest go. So you want to be a part of the best, right? And how you do that is you're going to have to do a lot of things that you don't want to do. Stay out longer, be away from your family longer, take loads to areas that you don't want to, go. Don't turn any loads down. Anytime that there's extra work that needs to be done, you volunteer, you go. Anytime they call you and say, hey, I need a favor. Hey, I got you. Let's do it. What you got, what you need. Now you becoming a dependable employee driving their truck. So they're going to remember that. That's the only thing you can do, because if they decide to shut their doors, there's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can do. But you owner operators out there, man, the best thing that you can do right now, man, is cut down your overhead. Cut it down. I know for some of y'all, you can't. You can't. There's no way. Big cat, I got a family. I got 5 kids. I got a wife. I got mortgage. I got two of my children in college. I got 2 car payments. I got the boat. We got this. We got that. I mean, we got debt. We got, I get it. I get it. Some of y'all won't be able to do it. But those of you that can, if you can chop it down, if you can sit down with the wifey or whoever, redo your numbers. In this market, you got to know your numbers. You can't be successful in this market. In trucking today in 2024, you cannot be successful in trucking, no matter what type of truck you buy, no matter what type of freight you haul. You cannot be successful in trucking today in 2024 without knowing your business, without knowing your numbers, without knowing your costs. You understand? You have to know this stuff, man. You have to know it, because finding freight in today's market takes more time, more patience, more selling yourself. Like, you got to sell your company to these guys, because we also, which we're not going to probably talk about in this video, but we also got a lot of fraud going on, man. So now FMCSA and brokers and all this stuff, they're doing different stuff because they don't trust nobody. Got a lot of double brokering going on. So a lot of people are having trust issues right now. You see what I'm saying? Trusting that they, that they're not going to get paid, or people are just saying they're gonna do this or need this, and then boom, hey, I did it. Where's my money? And you can't get a hold of nobody. So we got a lot of that going on. So people are double, triple checking, making sure all your ducks in a row, making sure you're compliant. And then on top of that, we get in more regulations, EPA. We're getting more. We're doing more safety checks. I remember, because I'm from Texas, so I've been driving for a long time now, and obviously I go through Texas a lot. I remember back in the day, and when I say back in the day, I ain't even talking that long ago. The weigh stations in Texas were never open. Maybe the one down in Laredo, when you go down to 35, that one was always open. But you would drive through Texas, man, and all these weigh stations that you would see in Texas, they were never open. Now, them bad boys are open. They're checking. They're checking. They're checking. They're finding a reason to get you out of here. You see what I'm saying? Because they gotta cut it down. We got a lot of drivers out here that shouldn't be out here. We got a lot of owner operators out here that are not business people. They shouldn't be owner operators, right? And that's what you guys are saying, because you guys go to the Facebook and the Instagrams and the TikToks, and those guys that shouldn't be out here are the ones that you're seeing that's complaining, that's talking down, they're saying all the negative things about trucking. That's what they're doing. You see what I'm saying? And you're hearing it, and that you're translating that into the market is bad, trucking is bad. This is not the time to get into trucking. If you know how to run a business, if you're business minded, you got the right head on your shoulders, this is a great time to get into trucking. You see what I'm saying? But if you're just getting into trucking because you think that, hey, I'm going to make a lot of money in trucking, this is not the time for you to get into trucking. The time for you to get into trucking was in 2020. I don't think we're going to ever have that again. You see what I'm saying? So right now, what's happening is trucking is doing exactly what trucking is supposed to do. Is weeding out the ones that are not supposed to be here, and the ones that are supposed to be here are the ones that understand I have to switch my game up. I have to learn something new. I have to change the way I think about the market. I have to change how I book freight, where I go. I have to change how I drive. I might have to change my equipment. I have to do a lot of changing because I am dedicated to this. I am dedicated to my business. Now let's talk about me. I know it's been a while since you guys have seen me. Now, I'm a carrier. I have my own authority. But I've been dedicated to trucking since the day I got in a truck. You see what I'm saying? I've been dedicated to this game from day one. I've seen a lot. I've experienced a lot, right? And a lot of this stuff that I'm telling you guys, a lot of this stuff that I have done myself. And that's the reason why I can tell you guys, this is what you need to be doing if you want to survive. You got to kind of pull away from, man, I want the fancy truck right now. I want this, I want that. Man, those times are going to come when our economy gets better, right? Not just necessarily trucking, because when the economy gets better, so does trucking, right? When everybody gets back to making money, not just in trucking, but everywhere else in the United States, everybody gets back to making good money and going out and spending that money on things that they need, we're going to be back moving. You see what I'm saying? Now you're going to start, when you start seeing trucking companies, because right now you don't see it. This is a good tell sign right here. When you start seeing trucking companies start putting out flyers or videos or advertising that they're hiring drivers, and I'm talking about trucking companies that that you see out here. I am not talking about foreigners that come out here and start a trucking company and then they're doing these Instagram sponsored posts. Hey, we're hiring on our. I'm not talking about those guys. Okay, I'm talking about companies that you see on the road all the time: Primes, JB Hunts, Snyders, Swifts. Those companies that you see on the road all the time. When they start hiring heavy, when they start like, hey man, we're looking for drivers, we need more drivers. We got this package, we got bonus package. Hey, if you bring in a driver, we'll give you $5,000 or $6,000. When they start doing that again, that's when you know we're getting back. But as long as you keep seeing this, all these companies, every week we're starting to see a new company either shut their doors or they're filing for Chapter 11 or they're downsizing or they're putting out their earnings. A lot of these big mega carriers are public companies, so they're on the stock market. I know because I bought some shares in a few companies. When they put out their earnings and you start to see their numbers, yeah, it don't look good, man. It don't look good. When I say it don't look good, it don't look good as far as trucking is making a shift right now. And it's basically like a hurricane going through a city and just tearing things down. Because once it goes through that city and tear things down, what do people do after that? They go and rebuild. They clean up and they rebuild. So that's what we got going in trucking right now. We got a hurricane in this motherfucker right now, just cleaning it up. The guys that are out here that are serious about it, that take it serious, that operate their business like a business, they're owner operators. They're not like, oh, I'm just an owner operator, but they have an employee mindset. Not those guys. I'm talking about guys that are running businesses out here in trucks. Those guys are going to survive. Guys that they understand that they got to get out here and talk to some people. And when I say get out here and talk to, I'm not saying go to the truck stop and talk to truck drivers. No, I'm saying you got to get out here and sell your company. Get out here and talk to your customers. You got to make relationships with your customers. If you're on the spot market, the broker is your customer. You got to talk to these brokers, man. You got to talk to them. All these other guys that are complaining that the brokers are cutting the rates and doing this and doing that, those are going to be the guys that are not going to make it. They're not going to survive. So I just want y'all to see the difference. Is trucking really bad in 2024? No, it's not. Trucking is right where it's supposed to be. Trucking is doing exactly what it's supposed to be doing right now in 2024. Now, we're going to go into an election at the end of the year. So 2025 could be totally different than what we're going through right now. But this is normal. You can still get out here and make $3 a mile, $2.50, $2.80, $2.90 a mile. You know what I'm saying? You can still do that. You can still make good money out here. You can still make $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 a week. You can. Now, can you do that consistency, Big Cat? Can I do that for the next six months? Make $8,000 a week? You probably can. I don't know how you run. You probably can. But you can still get out here. There's still freight out here to move. There's still money out here to move. There's still money out here to make. You just got to be more smarter on how you do it. You see what I'm saying? Everybody is unless you really put a nice nest egg. And when I say a nest egg, I'm talking about a couple $100,000 in the bank somewhere that's just waiting for something, waiting for you to do something with it. Unless you got something like that, man, everybody out here pretty much is one huge breakdown away from going out of business. Whether if it's mega fleets, or one huge mistake. You know what I'm saying? Like a mega fleet can have so many service failures with one of their customers, they lose that account. And that could be a major hit to their company, where they either have to shut the doors or they have to downsize. They got to cut a lot of people. You see what I'm saying? And they got to find a different way to operate. Well, a lot of these mega companies, bro, Arnold has been trucking for 90 something years. 90 something, what is it? I know it's over 90 something years. I think 93 or 94 years. Bro, they've been trucking for a long time. They have went through a lot of shit. They've seen it a lot of shit. But 2024, they couldn't get through that. You see what I'm saying? So you could be doing something for so long in trucking, man, that it come time when things change, and if you don't change with it, it's gonna change you. I have changed so much out here, bro. I had to. If I wanted to stay in trucking, I wanted to stay in business, I had to make some changes, man. I had to. You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to jump on here, man, and just talk to y'all while I had time. I'm still in the door getting loaded, headed back to Texas, and I wanted to actually just figure out this live thing, how it works. You know, I'm doing it from my phone. I'm not on nothing special. I'm just on my phone. And I see some of y'all in here. Christopher, man, I see you, man. Bobby, I see you, man. The good old blue and yellow Swift truck. Yeah, that's back in the day, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so I appreciate y'all coming out, man, hanging with me. I'm not, I don't consider myself a YouTuber anymore. I just wanted to come and just chat. I like talking to my truck drivers. I like putting out content about trucking. I like mentoring truck drivers. I still love doing that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not going to get on here and be like, y'all like and subscribe and all that. No. You don't have to subscribe. You don't have to like. You don't have to share this video. I just wanted to come and just have a little about my perspective of what I think the trucking industry, what's going on in the trucking industry right now, because I just honestly think that there needs to be more people online talking this talk, and not just focusing on, all the negative stuff and just filling y'all head up with the bullshit, because this is still a great time to be out here trucking, man. You just got to learn how to do it different. You can't do it. We can't do it no more like we was doing it in 2020. We're in a different market now. You see what I'm saying? We're in a different economy now, bro. Everything is different now, you know? So we got to be different. We got to do things different. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, I appreciate y'all, man. Y'all hit me up on Instagram. I'm on Instagram. Big Cat Truck on Instagram. I will say that. Just come over there on Instagram, man. I put out some videos every now and then I usually do some stories and stuff. But I'm gonna start doing more story videos on Instagram about the industry. I was gonna do this on Instagram, but I feel like it was gonna be too many videos. So I said, you know what? Let me just go live. I don't know if y'all like me to go live here or go live on Instagram or maybe Facebook. I don't know. But I appreciate the ones that showed up. I don't know how many of you guys came in here, but I appreciate the ones that showed up and just listened to my spiel on the trucking industry and what I feel. Because I feel like I'm qualified to kind of basically give my opinion. You feel me? I feel that way. So I appreciate y'all, man. Y'all stay up with your boy, man. And if you want to do a one-on-one, if you guys want to, any one of you guys want to do a one-on-one and talk about this, man, or if you want to hear me go a little bit more deeper into my perspective of this trucking market and what's going down, just hit me up, man. Hit me up on Instagram or Facebook, and we can chop it up. Feel me? It's your boy. I'm out. Y'all stay up, man.